thought I'd do a proper review of my 2007 Toyota Matrix. So what I like to refer to this car as is the Corolla hatch before the Corolla hatch, because essentially that's what it was. It uses the same 1.8 liter four-cylinder from the Corolla. In fact, the manual actually says Corolla Matrix. And since I'm bored, I thought I'd do a proper review of my 2007 Toyota Matrix. So what I like to refer to this car as is the Corolla hatch before the Corolla hatch, because essentially that's what it was. It uses the same 1.8 liter four-cylinder from the Corolla, and in fact the manual actually says Corolla Matrix. So Toyota sold these from 2003 all the way to 2013. They made two generations, so the first gen was from 2003 to 2008, and the second gen was from 2009 to 2013. And of course, Toyota did do something with Pontiac, where they had the Vibe, and the Vibe essentially outside looked a little different, but the inside was exactly the same as this car. The only difference was obviously on the steering wheel, instead of a Toyota logo, it was a Pontiac logo. But same exact car. And Pontiac actually did make a second generation of the Vibe. Unfortunately, it was only around for 2 years. So it was at the same time, 2009. And it only was around till 2010, because in 2010, GM canceled Pontiac, Saturn, and Hummer. So that car, unfortunately, in the Pontiac name did not live on. I love this car. I mean, again, it's a great car, and I think it's weird, though it's discontinued. I think I see more and more people buying them, you know, and I love the car. Now, the only flaw I've had with it, and this is really ever since we bought the car. So if you notice, there's these rust spots, and that's because water gets into the car, it leaks, and I'll show you when I get inside the car. But actually, I think I heard this was a common issue with the Matrix. I'm not so sure about the Vibe. I'm assuming, since it's pretty much the same car, it did have that issue. So anyway, so without being said, but other than that, the car mechanically has been fine. My dad pretty much drove it all these years. So originally we got it in, my dad says 2010, I kind of remember being 2009. We got it at our local Toyota dealer. It only had, I think, 12,000 miles on it. My dad was torn between this and a Tacoma. We ended up getting this for a really good price, and he pretty much drove it to about 2 years ago, and he gave it to me because I needed a new car, and this one, you know, again, has high miles. I didn't really drive it till a year later because at the time I didn't even have my permit yet, and I've been driving it this whole year pretty much. I put about 2,000 miles on it. It now just passed 225,000 miles, and again, no really major problems. The only problem was as soon as after he gave it to me, it I'll say it's Sunday, the starter went. The starter just went, but again, at that point it was at 200,000 miles, so that's pretty good. Same tranny, same same tranny, same engine. And you may be wondering, why do I have bags on my mirrors? Well, that's because we have birds that live in this tree that love to sit on these mirrors and poop. Yes, so I always find crap. It's happened with my mom's car. Now I always say, why just fold them in? Well, this car does not have fold-in mirrors, so I had to put a bag on it. It seems to be working fine. I've had no bird that japped. So we're getting in. Black cloth interior. You know, it's okay. I mean, you know, the one downfall, of course, with anything black, it gets hot in here, and oof, it is hot. Look at my phone's already steaming up. So yeah, again, you know, you got your power locks, power mirrors. You got those Matrix floor mats. Getting in, you see all this chrome here. Getting in. And you know, for somebody my height, I'm 6 foot. I actually fit in it fine. I fit in it pretty good. So let me just start it up because, you know, again, freaking dying in here. Typical Toyota chime. Starts right up, like every time. turn AC, of course, being a Toyota, cranks right on, ice cold. You know, not pulling out any cold air. AC still works, of course, after all these miles. Again, here's the official miles on it. Got 225,207. What else to say about it? Of course, you can see it needs gas. And pretty much the car has been pretty good. Radio still works.
Raven and Win can't beat Raven.
Still works. It's a Accord. Fortunately, it's not a JBL. I know Toyota does JBL stuff. As I said, AC still works. All the vents, all the zones. If I want heat, I can switch it to that. If I want just my feet to get cold, which I really don't. Yeah, it's just right into gear. And then of course you got second and low gears. Different power outlet. Of course it has your regular cigarette sort of one, but it actually has a full power outlet like that. Parking brake. One thing I actually did go out on this car, the parking brake light, when I pull it, the light doesn't come on. It started to like dimly come on, and then now it just went, but the brake still works. That's all that matters. You really don't need the light. 2 cup holders, I guess a little, I don't know, cubby thing. Sunglass holder, not an ashtray. And you got the glove box, which is a relatively good sized glove box, and the manual. And I don't, to be honest with you guys, I have no idea what the heck happened to this thing. Again, as the manual says, Corolla Matrix. Yeah, and nothing really, you know, it's a manual, nothing fancy. Driver's side, as I said, good amount of storage here, so I keep up my little knickknacks. Got some storage here, storage on the doors. Got the old coin thing. This is where you pop the back glass. It does have a security thing, but then I heard, I don't know, they took it off, and then you know, and then Tony was like, "Oh, we can put it on for a fee," but my dad's like, "You already had it. Why'd you take it off?" I don't know. The thing that's Toyota can make money. Mirror controls, light brightness and dimness, all that. Turn signals, stalk, and lights, brights, windshield washer stuff, cruise control. And you know, the car is just great. I love it. I mean, you know, I love the steering. It steers. Oh my gosh, steers very good. Mirror. We got the sunroof controls, and which I've used a few times. It's nice. You know, it gives you that convertible feel. Again, here. The other one, this mirror, unfortunately, as you can see, did crack. I don't know what happened there. I guess I think it changed. It went from really cold to hot, and of course, that usually happens to glass. Got to replace that. And I guess we'll give it a little rev. Why not? It's warmed up a little bit. Again, you're hearing Toyota's 1.8 liter 4-cylinder. Same engine they use in the Corolla. Obviously, it is again a Corolla used in the Celica. Not the same 4-cylinder they use in the Camry, the RAV4, and the Scion XB. Completely different 4-cylinder. I forget how many liters that is. So I guess we'll shut her down, and I'll show the rest of the car. So I shut it down. Put it back. This is the back seat, and of course I would always sit in the middle, I guess, so I can always have a good view. Decent size. I mean, you know, you got a little compartment to store stuff here, but not the same on here. This side, it's all hard cup holders that I actually broke when I was younger. Few little storage spots. You know, this unfortunately is not an armrest, doesn't come down. The seats, of course, do so, and we've hauled stuff in this many times. Where you turn the key only to the right, and only this part opens, and I always forget that. And turn to the left, and the whole thing opens. And yeah, and we got Toyota's cargo nets back here, and of course we got a nice like trunk mat thing. There's storage under here, of course. That's where you keep the spare tires. And like I said, fold these seats down, put a whole bunch of crap in here. So yeah, 1.8 4-cylinder. Man, it's really tough. Especially since it lasted all these miles. I mean, and I've heard, again, other people on these Matrixes get really high miles. So, in fact, I think I heard there's actually a Matrix club. Now, I would join it, but unfortunately, I'm probably going to only have this car for another couple months. I need a different car, especially because of that leak issue. And, yeah, so, it hasn't been, excuse me. Trying hard doing this one-handed. Alright, and there is, whoa, flipping action, the engine. Again, Toyota's 1.8 4-cylinder 16-valve VVT-i. Battery, brake fluid, air filter, coolant. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, again, a very heavily used Toyota engine. It's common in a lot of their cars. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's the Matrix. Now, hopefully, I'll take it down the road, show you guys the drive, and yeah. So that's the plan. We're gonna probably sell it. I don't know how much we're gonna get for it. Maybe $1,000, if that. And yeah, and put that money towards a new car. And I will review that once I get it. Okay. I hope you guys enjoy this, and yeah, that's the Matrix.